Hey everybody, Asic Eric, Pops again, and this is part 2 of the LS Swap. Today we're going to put the engine mounts on, attempt to drop this thing down into the subframe, see how things fit. These are the guys we painted up yesterday. So that's that VHT enamel stuff I showed yesterday. So it has a really nice finish that came out good. We just went and picked up an oil filter for this thing. I'm not entirely sure how you do this for a crate engine because I think this is the right one. Like, if you go into the, we just came from O'Reilly's, say, what oil filter will fit an LS3? He's like, what? What car is that? And I'm like, I'll forget it. I looked at this and this seems like just about any late model LS this fits, so it's so tiny though, but that's what GM recommends. And of course the oil filter that's on the pan, if you can see, is turned around the other way, so I can't see the label, but that one is bigger than the one we have. But I'm suspecting that's the PF48, which is the earlier model than the one we have. The E is the new model, which is smaller. Anyway, all right, we're gonna get busy here. All right, so one of the first things I want to figure out here is the Holley engine mounts. All they say in the directions is that the hole goes towards the back of the motor. So they don't tell you whether it goes this way or this way, which one goes on which side. Pretty sure they don't go that way, so I'm guessing it goes like that, right? So these guys are facing down. And then the inserts, you see, are offset. One side is higher than the other. So I want to make sure that that fits in there the right way. So if you try to put that in like that, the hole looks like that almost lines up. If you turn it around the other way, hole lines up much better. So I think, is that right? I thought last night I'd convinced myself the high side wanted to go to the outside of the car, but now it looks like it wants to go to the inside of the car. So confusing. So when I put the engine mount clamshells back together, I want to make sure these things are in the right orientation, because they can go in either way, I think. And then I'm going to check the clamshells because I think they can only go on the car one way, so let's check that next. Alright, so we were just checking these plates here, and on the car here, assuming these are going to go here, you got the top two holes line up there, that bottom hole lines up. I don't have it positioned well, but it does, like that. And the third hole goes nowhere, fourth hole rather. And these are not symmetric, so if you try and turn it around the other way, nothing fits. I took note of this yesterday when I took them apart. There's a little raised corner right there. That's where that corner was, like that. And that is the high side of this mount that we were talking about, which would be toward the inside of the car, which is correct with what we just said looking at that other mount. So I think we're good. So we're going to go ahead and assemble those guys and get them on the car. All right, that took a lot longer than it needed to, but they're in. This obviously should have been done before all the suspension parts went in, so it's really hard to fish sockets and things up in there. These bottom bolts, the only way we're able to get those is with an open end wrench. We taped the nut on there at like a 30-degree angle and fished it up from the bottom, and oh, what a pain in the ass. But it's done. So hopefully these are lined up properly since everything's all snugged up. Ideally you'd leave all this stuff loose until it was all in there, but that was really hard to do. So put the brackets on now. Also see how these are theoretically supposed to go. Like that. That lined up. Yep. So let's slap these guys on the block now. See if we can get it to fit. Alright. Put the motor mount brackets on now. Hopefully this goes without a hitch. So again, the only thing that comes with the Holley instructions is the hole in the bracket goes towards the back of the motor. That's all it tells you. There's really not much in the way of instructions on this thing. And in case anyone didn't know, these holes right here are for the air conditioner. So you can't use the standard front accessory drive air conditioner with these motor mounts. I think about any of these aftermarket LS mounts, it's the same story, but for sure here. I'm not using a torque wrench on this because nothing came with a torque spec, so I'm just going to tighten it. We were just commenting that these bolts are grade 8.8. They're not even 10.9 grade bolts, so I'm not going to go crazy with over tightening these. Plus they're going into the aluminum block too, so. Okay, ready?
Yep.
That's that. And we'll do the other side.
Take a shot.
Hopefully we can do this without breaking anything here. Okay. Come toward me. Stop, 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 stop. I don't want to lift it that high to get it over the wheels and everything, but I have to. Just kind of move it away. It's almost there. Keep it that way. Okay, can you come forward? You got to tilt the back.
Okay, I'm going to hit the cross member. See it?
Yeah.
So you have to lift it up and put something up. Okay.
The back's got to come around this way. There you go. Okay, hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it.
Okay. High enough?
Is it going to go around that wheel? I hope so.
The oil pan is barely touching the wheel. See it?
Yep. Just hope it's going to clear that wheel.
Right.
Okay, keep going. Got to swing your end around there. Is that it?
That's it, yeah.
Shit. Afraid of that. Alright, pull it out.
Have to come in from the front, I guess.
Yep. Keep going. All the way down. Alright, I'm going to pause this here. Alright, this car is so low, the engine hoist wouldn't go under the subframe. So we had to put it up on the ramps. So, we're about ready to see if this thing will fit now. I think we may have to pull the subframe back out.
Okay.
Just to make sure we don't hit the firewall. So I'm going to grab that side, grab the ramp. Try and pull it.
How far up?
6 inches.
Far enough?
Maybe. Alright.
It's not straight. Your side's got to come out of the wheel.
Hitting stuff. Let's leave that for a moment. How do we end up with the engine backwards?
I was just going to say, that thing would be free floating out front. Go the other way with it.
Slow, slow, slow. Is that it?
Move it tight there.
Come on. we can't spin it because the chain's bound up. Gentle, gentle.
Yeah, so for sure we can't.
Well, let's put it in backwards. If anyone would mind. Blast.
5/4 wise, huh?
Alright, so we spun the hoist, I'm talking to the camera.
Oh.
We spun the hoist around, hopefully far enough that way. We're gonna try dropping this thing in. Engine mount bolts ready. Stop it, stop it. Alright. Okay. Hopefully this is not too painful here.
This bolt's long enough, that shouldn't look like
Yeah,
it.
they're good. Okay, so the engine needs to come back a little bit more, or the subframe needs to come forward.
It's okay here.
That doesn't look okay here.
Yeah,
Well, I can't move the subframe, so.
that's jacked up now.
Can't move anything, so it's bound. Alright, well, just gonna have to try it, see where it lands.
Well, we can always move the engine back and forth.
No, we can't.
Why?
We can't move the hoist.
No, but we can move.
Oh,
this.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna try and come down here, so.
Okay, go slow.
Trying. Tell me when you're hitting over there, because I got room over here.
Okay, slow down. About 4 inches from the top here.
Moved. So it's got to come my way.
Okay.
Not that much. You. Is that good there?
Yeah, go ahead. Lower it there, right on.
This thing's really touchy.
Yeah. Keep your hands clear.
I'm holding it by the top.
Okay, slow down.
Am I gonna hit something?
No, you're about an inch away now.
About a few inches on my side.
Okay, you're almost half an inch and you're locked in here. You are in here.
I am not over here.
Okay.
Just gonna have to let it drop. Hopefully
Yeah,
it falls
come
in.
down more. You still got a little 1/4 inch drop on this side, so you go. Whoa.
That's in.
Yep. What's holding that up?
What?
What's holding that bracket up? That's all you need. You're in.
Bolt. Bolt. Forget the washers and stuff, just.
Huh?
That is too short.
Yeah.
Alright. Son of a bitch.
Just eyeballing that goes okay, right?
That's supposed to be the one. Alright, wrong engine mount bolts. Awesome. Alright, if anybody has any thoughts on this, this is all Chevy V6 V8, so where does that leave me? I don't know. But anyway, see, it's in. Let's look at clearance here. All kinds of room down here. The steering linkage isn't going to be a problem. Driver's side. Looking pretty good here. We're going to have to put the cats on and see how it looks. Passenger side looks a little tighter, which I was expecting. And we'll see. All right, as is classic, I went rooting around in my junk pile over there, and I did have the old engine mounts, but only one bolt. So we measured this guy. This is 5 inches. So my dad's gonna go see if he can pick up a bolt like this at the hardware store. hopefully he can, then we're good. I don't think I would have taken the other engine mount bolt out and not put it with the clamshells, so I suspect when I got the car it only had one bolt on it. But anyway, I'm going to take this guy and stick it in there for a little extra support. Here we go. That's what that's supposed to look like. What am I pointing at here? Can't see. Oh, there you go. Right there. Okay. So I don't... Yeah, if anybody knows the right part number for that, let me know, just in case Pop strikes out on finding one at the hardware store. I could not find what the heck these guys are. I took all my taps and dies and stuff and tried to run it on here. I couldn't find anything that would fit this, but I suspect my M10 1.5 is screwed up because it didn't seem right. So I think these are going to be M10 1.5, but I don't know. So I'm going to have my dad pick those up. Again, unless somebody chimes in and tells me otherwise. I don't really know what those are, so we're going to run with that. I'll go read through the instructions that came with the engine and see if they have anything to say about it, but we're feeling really good here. I think we're not going to have any clearance issues on those cats. Fingers crossed. So everything's looking really good here. So tomorrow we're going to get the transmission bolted up here and then get the cross member situated for the transmission, get that together. Now what I was planning on doing, and you guys tell me what you think, I was just going to stick the transmission on here, not put the clutch and all that stuff together, just get the transmission on there so we can get it situated, keep the weight down while we're trying to move that around. Then once we have it all positioned, then we'll pull that back off again and put all that stuff together. Or should I just go ahead and do all of that while I'm at it? I'm not sure. I don't believe it is safe to take this thing off the engine hoist and just have it sitting on those engine mounts right there with all that weight going that way. So I'm not going to try it. So I've got it under tension here. As you saw, it's a real pain because we can't get the engine hoist out with this thing on the ground. So tomorrow is going to be kind of interesting because we have to do all this with the subframe up in the air. Yeah, I don't know how all that's going to work. So it's kind of like we have to put it all together up in the air. Then we can take the engine hoist off and get it out of there. I mean, like I said, I'm shocked that this thing is so low I can't get an engine hoist under it. Yeah. Not sure about that. We can put some more air in the tires. Maybe that'll help a little bit, but not much else to be done there. So that's going to wrap it up for today. There's not really much else we can do. I'm going to take this cross member, as I talked about in an earlier video, that it's kind of paint's flaking off and stuff on it. So I'm going to just go over this with a little sandpaper over the bare spots and shoot some more of that primer on it. Actually, I'm not going to bother with the bottom. I have to touch up the bottom of the car later anyway, so I'll just do that then. So I'll just shoot some primer on the top of that thing where that bare metal spot is and just leave the rest alone, I think. All right, so that concludes part 2. It looks pretty good, huh? Pretty happy with that. LS power. All right, take it easy, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow.